Hello my friends, Luke here with Game 5 of Blood in the Sun. Yeah, it's been a really long time. I should have had this battle report done a long time ago. Hell, Blood in the Sun was like 2 months ago. But without further ado, here's Game 5. My Orcs and Goblins going up against Ogre Kingdoms. At this point, I've got 2-2, actually. I forget what table I'm on, but it's not doing too bad. And I've got a fun-looking Ogre Army here to play. So you can't quite see it from this angle, but it's a really nicely painted Ogre Army. It's kind of a beach theme, so like the basing is sand, almost looks kind of Tomb Kingsy, but there's a lot of little like shells and shellfish and starfish in there. He's got like a backstory on how they washed up on this beach and stuff. It's really, really cool. So here's the table, and after deployment, ogres are up at the top, obviously. Like this whole scenario is supposed to be slay Archaon, and it's a little weird because I don't really... The way that you're supposed to slay him is by getting in the building and being there at the end of the game. The game has to go at least 5 turns, and we deploy 12 inches back from the center line, both of us. So it's kind of normal deployment like that. The building itself starts casting, at the beginning of every turn, cast spells. If you're in the building, you get like D6 strength 5 hits. If you're outside of the building within 6 inches, you get D6 strength 4 hits. So it's kind of tough to be in the building, and because I think light was in favor, I believe you can't take ward saves against the wounds is what it was. There was a chance that you couldn't be stubborn in the building, but that didn't happen based on the outcome of the previous games in the tournament. So honestly, all in all, it's a pretty standard game. We're just going, it's hold the building, and the problem is if he gets those ogres in there, it's going to be really hard to get them out. But we'll see what we can do. So here's what he has for the Ogre Army. He has a group of 3 bulls on his right flank, my left flank. He has a single saber tusk. Then he has an Iron Blaster and a second Iron Blaster behind 2 big groups of 1 Iron Guts and 1 Man-Eater. So the Iron Guts in there is his BSB and his Slaughtermaster. Slaughtermaster's rocking level 4, immune to poison, Fencer's Blades, and Glittering Scales. I think he has a Dispel Scroll too. Then his Man-Eaters, he's got that kind of standard, he's got a big group of 8, which is awesome. Man-Eaters are great. The 4 in the back have great weapons, so they get their standard attacks. If you fought it before, you're familiar with that. And the ones in front have a smattering of things. I think a little bit of poison, a little bit of this and that. I can't quite remember everything. Then he has a Saber Tusk, a second one next to the forest there, kind of angled away but not in it. Second 3-pack of bulls, just to kind of be on the flank. And then he has a hunter on a Stonehorn, and this is awesome. By the way, this is the flavor of bits. In the last couple videos I had mentioned, you know, like, I think it was the last game, the one where I fought the High Elves. I was like, oh, gosh, it kind of sucks because it's a rock-hard list, and, you know, you're free to do that, but the theme of bits is supposed to be bring kind of fun stuff and play kind of random fun games. A hunter on a Stonehorn is the epitome of that. It's really cool, and it can be really strong. It can also be really awful at times, and it's definitely not a min-maxed decision. And so, you know, I kind of feel like you get a little bit of min-maxing in there with the guts and the Man-Eaters, but he's also given a little bit of points out there that usually you don't see. And I'm freaking in love with it. This is going to be a fun game, I'm thinking. So here's my army, 18 Black Orcs. I've got my 20 Bow Night Goblins with 2 Fanatics, a level 1 with a Dispel Scroll in there, a Ragnarok Spider, 2 Doom Divers, a Squig Herd of about 21 Squigs, 7 Handlers, a Mangler Squig, the big old block of Savages for my net list part of it. The Savages with the Black Orc BSB and the level 4 Shaman in there. He's got Magic Resistance 1. Then he's got, I've got a 6-pack of Trolls who are going to just kind of wander forward, a Mangler on the left flank next to that second Doom Diver, and then a Goblin Hero on a Great Cave Squig. So it should be kind of fun. Unfortunately, like every game of this tournament, I got second turn. That sucks. Would have liked to have gone first at least once, but he moves up. It's not to be, so ogres go first. Moves up just a little bit. He's not really cruising with that Saber Tusk. He's not going to give a easy charge at the trolls or anything. He's going to just use them where he needs them. In the middle, moves up as well. You know, he can't march into the building on turn 1, so the entire line just moves up together. And his goal is to get those Iron Guts in that building. And I don't have much to stop him, and that's going to be really hard to chew through if he does get it in there. On his left flank, my right flank, he moves up with his 3-pack of bulls, and his Stonehorn is going to move just right behind them, kind of come a little closer, as you can see in this picture here. He has done that. Go to Magic, 6 dice to 4. He throws +1 toughness on the Iron Guts, and I fail to stop it. And then I'm basically out of dice, and he throws the Panic Test spell at my Night Goblins, but I pass that no problem. We go to shooting. His first Iron Blaster takes out my Doom Diver, going right over the heads of the squigs. And no sort of panic problems there at all, but I'm out one Doom Diver. Second one aims for the second Doom Diver and blows itself up. I think it's a pretty even trade there, actually. And that's it for Ogre's turn 1. We go to Greenskins turn 1, people. We've got just movement, just moving up. You know, I fly up with that Mangler Squig. I'm hoping for like 17, 18 inches so I can get right in his grill. But yeah, it's about as far as I can get. The Squigs move up right behind the Mangler. I'm sending the Goblins in first so I can get those Fanatics out there, but those Goblins are facing down Mighty Stonehorn. That's going to suck. So then their backup, depending on when they explode, I've got the Black Orcs and the Arachnarok there. Black Orcs are who I want to get into combat with that Stonehorn. That is what I want. On my left flank, the Goblin hero just kind of moves up. He doesn't have any good target yet, but hopefully I can chase after that Sabertusk, and I kind of send my Mangler Squig off to the left. I'd like to blow up that pack of bulls, but at this point I just kind of send him forward, and he's unfortunately in range for that Sabertusk, so he'll probably walk on him. We go to the magic phase, and it's 7 dice to 6. I get Hand of Gorkoff as my first spell, and I move that the Mangler Squig that was in the middle of the battlefield. I just move him forward. I put him right in front of the guts in that building. So, as if you can see here, he can't go into the building without taking 3d6 billion hits from the Mangler. That's what I'm hoping. I want him to walk on there and take a whole bunch of wounds. But he's got a Sabertusk right there. Actually, I think I forgot to mention, I think he has 3 Sabertusks, I think. Either that or this one just cruised in behind from on the right. I can't remember. Anyway, there is a Sabertusk there. He's going to just walk on him. The best scenario is that I can shoot him before we go to there. So he's going to be my Doom Diver target. If that hits, great. I might be able to trigger some panic tests, kill him. I'd be very, very, very happy with that, because then he has to walk onto the Squig or take a turn, and maybe I can get in the building while he's doing that. If I don't hit him, well, then at least the Sabertusk will walk on the Mangler, blow up, and I have a chance at triggering panic. Fortunately, his BSB's right there. He's all bunched up, so he'd have to fail 2 bad rolls. And you know what? Like, he's got the standard of discipline on that BSB unit, so that sucks. So he's probably gonna pass it. Yeah, I'm kind of shooting for the fences here, but I don't think it's gonna work. So we go to my shooting phase, and so the other spells I tried to get off the foot of Gork, and I wanted to stomp on the Man-Eaters and on the Sabertusk there to try to stomp him into oblivion. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it off. He dispelled it. So we go to shooting, and my Doom Diver, the only one I have left, just bounces right off and drifts into nothing. So unfortunately, we all know what's going to happen here. At the start of his turn, we are within range of the building, so it goes shoots a lot of magic. I lose 4 Squigs and 1 Handler. I take 2 wounds on the Mangler, believe it or not. It almost died. And he takes 1 wound on his Iron Guts, even with their super toughness. You can see the little brown arrow in there. Unfortunately, he wasn't close enough for the Sabertusk to get shot by the building. He was smart, and so Sabertusk walks on the Mangler. It blows up, and he had to use his BSB on his big block. He had to use the reroll because he almost bolted. That would have been just sweet, but he passed it. And because we're on Game 5 of the tournament, there are no more tournament rerolls, so no shenanigans. So, yeah, I tried. That's the best I can do, Over here on his turn, sorry, checking in my notes here. So he declares 2 charges on my Goblins, one with the Bulls and one with the Stonehorn. He's coming in. I think he's got the distance here. So I say I'm going to stand and shoot. I stand and shoot, and I actually do 5 wounds on them with my little strength 3 bows. He saves 2 of them, but one of the bulls is gone. This is going to be great. I'm like, yay, my luck. He passes his panic test, and he comes on in, and both of them make contact. So I release my Fanatics. One of them I sent from the far corner because I wanted it just to land right in the path of the bulls. And you can see him, he's still there. He was able to get around him with his bulls. It would have clipped him had I not shot one of them out, but that was just bad luck, bad distance on my part. So he avoided them with the bulls. However, the other Fanatic I had in there lands right in front of the Stonehorn. Stonehorn has to run over it. And I did, I think, 5 wounds. They're distributed as per shooting. I did not wound the Hunter on top, but I put 4 wounds on that Stonehorn with the Fanatic. 4 wounds. It only has 1 left. That's awesome. I almost killed the thing. That is my MVP fanatic right there, people, for sure. So here's how it looks after the charge. You know, he's in. He's got a bunch of wounds on him, and I've got hopefully power to back up that whole flank. Marches his saber tusk right onto the fanatic or on the mangler, as we expect, and that's basically it for that flank. And he goes into the building here. I guess I'm not showing that here with movement. Sorry, but he is able to walk right into the building. So now he's in. We go to the magic phase. It's 11 dice to 6, so a big phase for him. He first casts the panic test on my Doom Diver. I use the Dispel Scroll because I'm thinking he got a pretty high roll, and I'm going to lose that goblin here in a second anyway. So I just throw the Dispel Scroll, and I want to be able to shoot. Toothcracker goes on his Iron Guts. I let that go. I'm not fighting him right now anyway. It'd be nice not to have it, but whatever. He's in the building, and so he throws out Troll Guts on his Iron Guts that are now in the building, and I was able to dispel that one. Was it better to let him have regen or one more toughness? I thought it was better to stop regen because it's strength 5 hits when you're in the building. Now he's toughness 5, but that's still 4 up, so we'll see. During the shooting phase, yeah, you can see now the guts are in the building, so it was just a bad picture of movement. The Iron Blaster fails to hit the Arachnarok. I think he might have rolled a 1 because that base is huge. I don't know how you would fail to hit that without just, I don't know, misfiring. But yep, he must have rolled a 1 because I didn't take any wounds. This is a picture just showing where the bulls are facing now on this flank. Go to close combat. 8 impact hits from that stone horn, and I think they all wounded. I don't have any nets here, by the way, so the goblins are just taking all the hits. 8 impact wounds, boom. I'm trying to put most of my attacks that I can on the bulls on the right side, but you know, he's pretty much right even with me. One goblin steps up. I think it was the goblin champion. He swings, boom, wounds, and the stone horn fails its armor test, and that one goblin drops the stone horn. It's awesome. Hunter drops to the ground, and I'm not able to wound him at all. And then he does 18 wounds to me. I end up doing 2 to that pack of bulls there, but I break. He fails to catch me, so he does not pursue with the bulls. He wants to block for those black orcs and stop a failed charge. He does pursue with the hunter, though. Hunter gets into the Arachnarok, and yeah, I'm okay with that. I think my Arachnarok can take him. So the bulls are not in combat. I don't get run down. I'm on the other side, but I'm probably headed toward the edge of the board. And if you look at the placement of my black orcs, they can see the bulls, so I'll charge them. He'll probably flee, but I can't redirect into the hunter because he's not long enough. Like I can't see him. So unfortunately, I can't help out. The Arachnarok's gonna have to do this on his own. And here's a picture of what the end of the turn looks like on the board. Go to Greenskins turn 2. The bulls flee from a charge of the black orcs as you would expect, and unfortunately, I failed to catch him. Unfortunately, but also fortunately, I'm standing right in front of that fanatic now, so yeah, that kind of sucks. I think this is after the fanatic moved. I think so. So yeah, it's going to get bloody for those black orcs if that fanatic doesn't get out of the way. But I failed to catch him, and that's it for movement over here. I keep going toward the end of the board. I'm still on it, but spoilers, I'm about to run off the board. I send the constantly getting shot squigs closer to the man-eaters because I failed the charge. So that you can see that I'm just getting whittled down by the building, shooting them and shooting them. You know, I think I'm T4 and it's strength 4, so it's just going to get lower and lower. I'm just hoping for a good explosion at some point here. I angle the savages so I can charge whoever I want there, and I can also, if I decide to, charge the building. But more importantly, my arc of visibility is that I can still see the building, so I can put a foot of Gork on the building if I can get it off. Over here, the trolls stumble forward because I think they're out of the movement now, but whatever, they'll hold their points. I can't do much with them at this point. And I get a random movement of my goblin, just clips the edge of the bull, so I'm hoping to hit them with combat res, break them, land a few wounds, and get rid of that flank. That's what I'm hoping for. During magic at 6 dice to 4, I throw all 6 dice at foot on the guts in the building, and I don't get irresistible, and he throws his Dispel Scroll, unfortunately, but at least I got it. Maybe next turn I can stomp on him. During shooting, I go for the Man-Eaters, and the Doom Diver just drifts right off, doesn't hit anything. In close combat, I do 2 wounds to the Hunter. He does 2 wounds to me, and I stick. I'm being stubborn, and I think I'm close enough to the BSB and the General for the reroll, so I wasn't going anywhere. But I don't remember how many wounds he has. He either has 4 or 3. But anyway, I think I'll be able to take him. He's still got to do 6 more wounds to me. Ogre Turn 3. So at the start of the turn, I'm still taking a ton of damage from the building. He's taking some too, but he's got so many ogres in there, and I can't quite see the die. So there's a ton of wounds in that building, and he's taking damage, but not a ton. So on his turn, he charges the man-eaters into the front of the squigs, and I have to just eat that. Hopefully I can blow up and do some damage before I go. He rallies his bulls here right in the middle, and we go to magic phase. It's 5 dice to 3. He throws 2 dice at the +1 toughness on the guts in the building. I let that go again. Be nice not to have it, but I got other stuff to do. He throws troll guts on them. I dispel that, and that was the last of his die. During shooting, his cannon misfires, and the cannon part blows up, so it is now only a chariot. It hasn't given up its points, but it's not shooting anymore. So I had forgot to put this on my last turn. I did 2 wounds to him, but he stuck. Now this turn, it's a whiff fest. He wasn't able to reform, combat reform, to get all 3 on me. I failed that roll. But now on his turn, it's a whiff fest, but he wins by muso. I fail and run away, and he fails to catch me. My Ragnarok, I think, did all the wounds for him, I think, before he could go. I don't remember his initiative, but yeah, he's basically toast right there, and I just kind of reformed just to face those bulls. I think I might have done 4 wounds to him. It's kind of tough. You'll see in the next few slides, I must have been taking pictures before he was pulling off all of his models, because between combat here and the building shooting him, there's going to be fewer and fewer man-eaters. But he does a bunch of wounds to me. I break. I do some to him. I explode. I do a few more, and I do some to the guys in the building. It's game 5 of the tournament. We're going quick. I don't know. A bunch of them. So you see it looks like he's only got 2 in the back there, but by the time we go to my turn here, he has only 1 in the back. So at some point he's lost 6 from the explosion in the building shooting. It's kind of crazy. So it's Greenskins turn 3. I charge his bulls flee, and I can't redirect either from the distance. I just wasn't going to make it, or I just failed to. So it's a failed charge in the Black Orcs, and I moved my Arachnarok forward a bit because I said, I moved him forward, so I'm hoping he charges him. You can see I've set up the kill box here. If he charges my savages, well, he's just dead, because my savages are going to just obliterate him. If he charges my Ragnarok, I can choose to go in with either the Black Orcs or the savages. And I don't think, with only 1 man-eater still having a great weapon, I am not worried about him doing the 6 remaining wounds on my Ragnarok. So, I think that's probably the juicy target. And I've still got the front 45 of my savages, so I can choose to charge the building on the next turn if I want. I rally my Goblin, and the trolls just keep going forward. During magic, I throw everything I can at foot of Gork, and it fails to cast. I don't think I can see the building at this point. I think I was trying to get the man-eaters. That's weird. I should have probably moved my caster as I walked up. Should have moved him to the other side, so I could have still put foot on the building, because that would have been nice, a lot of damage there. But it fails to cast anyway, and we go to shooting. Doomdiver aims for the man-eaters, but misfires and disables itself. It's still there, holding its points, but I think it can't shoot for 2 turns. That's basically it for the turn. We go to Ogre Turn 4. We're both still taking more damage from the building. And I at least have a ward save with my savages at this point with the Lucky Shrunken Head. And I don't believe he's allowed to take a ward save. His guts don't have it, but he wouldn't get it on his Slaughtermaster, just because of the scenario rules. So he charges my Goblin on a Cave Squig, and I've just got to take that, and he gets an Ogre charge off, so that's going to be one nasty, nasty mess. His man-eaters, he's only got 4 now, go into the front of the Arachnarok, and here we go. In close combat, so what happened during magic? Let's see if I have that. Okay, so during magic it was 11 dice to 6, a big phase for him. He throws 3 dice at Toothcracker on the guts. I let that go, give him the toughness, that's fine. I stop regen, 3 dice versus 3 dice. I stop that, I've got 3 left. He panics my Doomdiver, which I don't know why he cast it on there. I don't remember if he blows up if he panics or whatever, but he panicked my Doomdiver and I couldn't do anything about that. And then he put Stubborn on the man-eaters with the single last die he had. That sucks. So we go into close combat. The Ogres get 7 impact hits on the Goblin hero, and he's just dead before he even knows that they're there. So you can see Stubborn is on those man-eaters. He lands 4 wounds on me, which is actually pretty dang good. I do 6 to him. I believe he wins then with the tie, or with the charge, the BSB. But I'm also Stubborn with the reroll and the nice leadership, so I stick around. And that's it for his turn. We go to Greenskins turn 3. Sorry, Greenskins turn 4. Black Orcs charge the flank of the man-eaters, and the Savages go into the building. It's time to get them out of the building. He's going to get 5 victory points if he's in there at the end of the game, and there's not a lot of time left, so we got to go. During Magic, it's 4 dice to 5. I get Here We Go off in a bubble, so we've got rerolls on the Savages, and I believe the Black Orcs were in it too. So that was actually a really, really nice Magic phase for me. No shooting to speak of. The Ragnarok finishes off the man-eaters before they get to go. So the Black Orcs really didn't help out much, but you can see the Black Orcs have taken 8. I wonder if I had that on there. Well, I'm not going to go back too far. When the Black Orcs made their charge, it was on the last turn when the Black Orcs tried to charge those bulls. They ran over that stupid fanatic and took 8. 8! Oh my god, it was painful. So I'm only down to 10 Black Orcs left. And that's basically it for close combat. Ogre turn 5. I'm sorry, I go into the building. Not much happens. I send 10 guys in with rerolls, and they're frenzied and all that great stuff. He sends out, I believe, his BSB, his Slaughtermaster, and his Champion. And I believe it's such that, however I allocated it, it was a big pain in the butt. We talked about that, like, do I try to get the BSB? Do I try to throw all of my attacks at the Champion? I don't remember if he challenged. I think he might have actually challenged to make it even worse. I won, but can't do much. He's still stubborn in that building, and I don't really kill his BSB or anything like that. I think I put a couple wounds on whoever I hit. I think I killed his Champion maybe, but he's sending out 3 guys. I'm sending in 10. I didn't send in any characters because I wanted to see what would happen, but it's apparent to me he's got way too many wounds. I'm never going to kick him out of the building. So Ogre turn 5. Brilliant! This is brilliant. Those long ogres doing the long march around the building get into the flank with an ogre charge on my orc. So I have to deal with these guys this turn, or I'm not going to get another shot at the building, and that's worth 5 victory points. So he's in on me. He's got a couple wounds on him left, but he's in on me, and we'll have to deal with that when we get to close combat. During Magic, it's 5 dice to 4. He gets Spine Marrow off on these guys, but not Stubborn, which is nice. Wait, is Spine Marrow stubborn? Yeah, it is stubborn, so he gets Stubborn off on him. Oh god, that's bad. That's really bad. Yeah. So I was looking over this. I don't remember exactly what happened. You can see I moved my BSB over to fight him. I think I killed him outright. I don't think the Stubborn spell mattered. I know he was in my flank, but I still had Frenzy. I still had rerolls at this time, and I moved my BSB over. So when I took this picture, he's down 1 ogre. This must have been like before my BSB went or something, because my BSB went Great Weapon, and then, well, see, that doesn't even make a lot of sense. I don't really know. Somehow I killed them, and Stubborn didn't matter. And I know this because I've got this picture showing, now there's only like 10 minutes left in the game. We're only going to get 5 turns in. That sucks, because I go into the building one last time, and I'm not able to take him out. I mean, I do a lot of wounds to him, and I'm still frenzied, but I'm not able to take him out, and that is the end of the game. At the end of the game, I ended up winning. It was 13-7, I think, but he got 5 victory points for being in the game, and I'm fundamentally against that in a tournament, especially on the last game. Like I'm sorry, not 5 victory points, 5 battle points. 5 battle points is a lot, and for being in the building, come on, nobody likes Watchtower, and especially nobody likes Watchtower at the end of the game when it's like, here's all the battle points, and it would just, I'm whiny because I didn't win. I actually won the game, but those 5 battle points pushed me down quite a bit. I ended up in the tournament, 3 wins, 2 losses, and I ended up on 37 of the about 90 players we had. So it was not a bad showing, but if I had taken him out of the building, which was all on me, I had plenty of opportunities. If I had taken him out of the building, I think it probably would have been in the 20s, probably high 20s. So, maybe low 30s, but probably high 20s. So that 5 victory points made a big deal. I got pretty well for sportsmanship and paint scores, and it was a really fun time. But in terms of this game, I couldn't kick him out of the building. I ended up winning on overall victory points, but he ended up walking away with more tournament points than I did. So that's the game. That's Blood in the Sun. I have been on a personal note, I have been pretty much out of the hobby for a little bit. Life has been pretty distracting, so over the last few days I've been actually working on getting back in the hobby, so I picked up my witch elves and I'm dusting them off, but I actually have a really good excuse why I haven't been in the hobby much. My son was born! Grayson Davis. You're looking at him right there. The light of my life, my son. Very, very happy papa. He's taken a lot of time away from other things that aren't, you know, being awake all night and helping mom feed him. But he's a fantastic little guy. I'm absolutely in love. And, you know, he's 3 weeks old now, so we're kind of past the point where we're not sleeping. We're kind of getting into a little bit of a rhythm. So hopefully I was able to do some painting this weekend. I found a nice little 3-hour stretch here to put the battle report together and record it. So hopefully I can start working on the hobby again. Also, now that Nagash was announced, that's really going to pull me back into the hobby quite a bit because I love me some undead. A unified undead army, oh my gosh, nothing can be better. So I will leave you with this picture that shows exactly what my life has become. That is not pee on me, by the way. That is diarrhea. Thanks for watching, guys.